Hey, I'm Candace, your host, and if you're ready to grow your business and build your authority by getting booked on podcasts, I've got something special for you. I'm launching a brand new course that will walk you through exactly how to get booked on podcasts. Everything from identifying the right shows to pitching, preparing for interviews, and leveraging your guest appearances for growth. Plus, if you sign up for the waitlist now, you'll get early access to the course and these special bonuses. When you officially enroll in the course, you'll save $50 and get a free one-on-one strategy call with me to help you prep your speaking points and align your offers. These bonuses are limited and end on April 13th, so make sure to sign up today. Head to the link in the show notes to join and get started on your podcast guesting journey. I can't wait to help you get booked and start sharing your message with the world. Now let's dive into today's episode. All right, welcome back. We've got another specific episode today. This one is about Amazon KDP. I wanted to touch on more things that solo entrepreneurs might be using or want to use. I use Amazon KDP. I've helped dozens of other people publish their journals or custom tracker ideas onto Amazon KDP. It's a super awesome tool. If you have an idea for a custom journal, custom tracker, a planner, or even a coloring book, this could be for you. This might be a great place to print it. I kind of went down the rabbit hole of Google land and I called a friend of mine who's an author, and Amazon KDP is going to be really the place when you have something with each page being custom to get it printed at a inexpensive rate on demand. So you don't have to buy a bunch of copies up front. You still can get your product and ideas into the hands of people. Let's talk about that. Basically, here's a rundown of what you could do. Create something on Canva. I'm going to share some tips that will save you a lot of time. You're going to head over to Canva. You can do this on a free account. You're going to make a PDF is the style you're going to choose. Now you can choose any size you want. So I just recommend get a notebook or planner or whatever that you like the size of. Like walk down the aisles of Target in the office supplies part and pick up and hold on to different sizes of journals and planners and see which one you like best. So then you go to Canva and you put in that size and you can start making whatever you want on it. So if you have that vision, I've helped a mama who does some homeschooling. She created sort of like a workbook fun journal for her kiddos that they could do. And she just prints that and uses it for herself and has shared it with friends and family. So it can really be anything you want, but just make it all in Canva. I will tell you right away, you're going to need a separate Canva document for your cover and a separate Canva document for the insides of the journal, tracker, workbook, whatever. The inside is going to be called the manuscript when you're on Amazon KDP. Okay, the other piece to know up front, this stumped me and it stumps almost anyone that I talk to. They're like, Candace, help. I've been at this all day. What am I supposed to do? I cannot get the cover to upload properly on Amazon KDP. Okay, you will get a lot of red checks and it will not let you upload it if you don't have the right sizing. So I am going to go ahead and link you the sizing cover calculator link in the show notes, because if your journal is 4x7, your cover is different. So your cover, picture it as if you would open it and you can see the back and the front all at once. That's going to be the size of it, but it's not just double the size of your journal. So you really need to go to this link and type it in, and then it'll tell you exactly the length and width. And that's the dimensions that you should put into Canva when you're making your cover, because remember, you're going to make that as its own PDF. Okay, that stumps people and will stop you dead in your tracks. I have seen people quit and give up because they cannot figure out the cover. So that is linked. The calculator for the cover sizes is linked in the show notes. Okay, you will need a title. And I found out the hard way that your title needs to match what is on the cover of your journal. So plan accordingly, because when you get everything uploaded correctly to Amazon KDP, it then tells you that it'll take about 72 hours for your product to be reviewed and then published if it meets the criteria. That is one of the things that you will get dinged for if your title that you type in on Amazon KDP when you're uploading it does not match what is written in the picture or on the PDF of the cover that you create on Canva. So make sure you do that. Once you have your journal or whatever ready from Canva, save them as PDFs. You can also click, when you're saving your Canva document to a PDF print version, you can click the box that says flatten. So that way, if you have text or things outside of the guidelines, that if your mouse hovers over your Canva document, this is kind of vague without having a computer to show you, but I have this all in my Amazon KDP training video. It's about 30 minutes long and it will walk you through every single step. I literally upload a whole journal while I show it to you on Amazon KDP. So if you're confused when you get onto Amazon KDP about what the stuff means, I have that linked and I have a whole thing of notes linked for you as well with that video. So I'll link that in the show notes as well. But anyways, you can click flatten, but otherwise I do recommend keeping your text and things inside those Canva margins, because when you get it printed onto Amazon KDP, other than a hardcover, the soft cover, that doesn't necessarily like open and lay flat that easily. It's not a flat lay type option. So if you have a lot of things like all the way to the edge of the page, they could get cut off or be hard for your person to reach when they are writing in it, coloring in it, and whatever else. Okay, you get to choose the cost that it'll be listed for on Amazon KDP, as well as the description is what shoppers will see when they're on Amazon. And you should include any details you have about your product that you want your consumer to know. They're only going to see the cover of your product. They're not going to get to see the inside of it. Amazon KDP doesn't have the look inside option where you are usually shopping on Amazon and you roll your mouse over it and you can see inside of it. So the more details you can add here, the better. The other thing to know with your manuscript, the inside of the journal, is when you're selecting it, at least for the low content publications, there'll be checkboxes to choose and prompts on Amazon KDP. So like low content is like a journal, things like that. They do have a 72-page minimum. So if you want to do like a month tracker, like a food tracker maybe that you've created, or a habit tracker for a month, just know you maybe want to stretch it to like 3 months, or you want to add some different pages added in there so that you fit that amount. Because that's another thing that you'll get like a red check mark that won't let you go on, because it'll say there's an error, you don't fit the criteria for those. Another tip I have for you is consider adding a QR code to direct your consumers from your journal or whatever you're making. Add that, maybe put a page in the front or in the back that has some information about you, and maybe you have a website or you have other offers for your business, and put a QR code that can direct them there. Or maybe you have a free offer, like in my last journal, they have a QR code that they can get free meditations that I make to coincide with their journaling, and they can scan that. So that is something to consider as a way to direct them to you next and to get them off of Amazon and into kind of your online world. Like I mentioned earlier, the product, after you get it all submitted, it goes up to review for 72 hours. And then once it's live, you can actually make edits to almost anything, except you will not be able to change your title or subtitle. If you have a subtitle, you don't have to have a subtitle, but if you put a title or subtitle in, you will not be able to change that. So if you want to change that, you would have to unpublish that particular product and then re-upload it and go through the whole process again. But afterwards, you could, if you notice like a mistake inside of your journal or tracker, you could fix it on Canva, save it again as a PDF, and then re-upload that. Edits also take a certain amount of days to go live, but it's fairly quick. The other really handy thing that you need to know about is once you get this up and it's all published on Amazon and Amazon has given its okay and it is on there, you may want to order copies for yourself. You can get the copies. They're called author copies. So you can go into Amazon KDP and there will be a bookshelf tab, which is where you are creating this journal as well. So you should already be there and be able to see that. But you go in the bookshelf tab and then you'll see your journal, your product sitting there. And next to it, you'll also see order author copies. You can click that and now you only pay the printing and shipping cost and they'll send you those. So one idea is that I have my journals in a few locations, like in a few boutiques and stores around the area. That's how I order for those stores. And then those stores and I have worked out a price that they pay me, and then they set their own price for it in the store. That's another way to utilize that and get these printed and then out into the hands of your clients. I had a client who owns a gym and she does a lot of different workout plans or things like that. And she had some tracking she wanted them to do, exercises in there she wanted listed out. So she printed author copies to have in her gym for people to grab that were doing those programs with her throughout the year, which is a awesome idea. You can also just let Amazon do the work. You share your link, get that out to people, let people know you have it, and then they can just buy right from that link and purchase it right from Amazon. And Amazon then does print it and ship it for you. Okay, keep in mind though, Amazon is not going to do the work for you. There are these viral videos out there on social media that drive me literally insane because they act act like you can upload this to Amazon and then Amazon will tell everyone about it for you. There's these videos, you've probably seen them, of influencers that I'm sure have not even used Amazon KDP, because if they did, they would know better. I hope they haven't, because they should definitely know better and they shouldn't be spreading false information. But they say, publish your custom coloring book or your journal onto Amazon KDP and kick back and do the rest. And they'll show you an example that you'll see, like, this journal has sold 5,000 copies for $5 a piece. And then they'll have a calculator and they'll say, okay, 5,000 times 5, that means they made $25,000 in that last month or whatever. Okay, 100% not true. Amazon, I mentioned before, when you're setting your price, Amazon takes 40%. So you're going to get 60%. So keep that in mind when you're setting your price. They're also going to take the printing costs, which if you have just a black and white inside of your journal and doing the soft cover option, it's only a few dollars, but you'll see all that as you're setting your price in Amazon KDP. But those are things to keep in mind. So that is why I don't like those viral videos, because they're not telling you the whole truth. And they're also making it seem like Amazon is going to share this for you and push it out to all kinds of people. That is not the case. Trust me, I've had my journal up on Amazon KDP now for a couple of years, and no one is finding it unless you are getting them the link. They're not recommending your product yet to others. The way that I have heard and read that they would is products that have a lot of great sales and get a lot of great reviews. So if you know someone who has something published on Amazon KDP, or if you know me and you want to go to my journal, the Year of You journal, and you have it and you've bought it, you can write a review and submit it onto Amazon. It does wonders, literally wonders, for the people that you might know that have that. Those reviews are absolutely huge. There's a few more things, a little bit more in-depth walkthrough in my Amazon KDP training video that I'll link in the show notes, but that should get you started, and that should really, really help, because I just told you about the cover needing its own PDF and own sizing and different stuff like that, where that has really, really stumped a lot of my clients. So if you have an idea for a journal, tracker, planner, whatever it might be, or you have one already made and you need someone to upload it to Amazon KDP for you, I also do that. So you can shoot me an email at betterbravewithcandace@gmail.com, or find me on Instagram at Candace Dudley and send me a DM, because I would love to help another solo entrepreneur get their product up onto Amazon KDP. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. If you're ready for podcast mentoring, whether it's setup, editing, planning, or guesting, you can book a one-on-one call with me through the link in the show notes. I hope you feel seen, inspired, and like your dreams and goals are completely valid, because they are. See you next Tuesday.